The first object-oriented programming concept is what? Inheritance. Inheritance is in essence nothing but acquiring the properties from parent class to child class. Acquiring the properties from parent class to child class. Parent class to child class is called as what? Is called as inheritance. Meaning, if you are getting the properties from one class to another class, then that concept is called as what? Inheritance. What is the need of going for this inheritance concept? Even I'm telling you was, I heard this theoretically, I learned this definition. A lot of times I see this definition. Acquiring the properties from parent class to child class is called as inheritance. But where exactly I understand the use of this inheritance concept, I'll tell you. In my experience, basically, I started my career as a game developer. Initially, I started my career as a game developer and I developed some games I developed. I'll show you what is that one. This is what my first game which I developed. Initially, I started my career as a game developer. This is what the game I developed. I'll tell you why I'm telling. I tell you. This is what the game I developed. When I joined in that company, already this game is already started. I'm a junior programmer at that time. This game is already, they started developing this game. They given some levels they given. Assume that it's having some levels. See here, this is what the game level. This is what the game level. Just 1 second, I'll show you. This is what the game level. And see here, this is the next level. This is another level. It's the first level, level 1. Level 4. This is level 3. Observe here, in these levels, if you take level 1, you take this level 1, observe here, observe the player position, restart button, pause button, the score, level, and arrows. This is another level called level 3. In this level 3 also, observe here, the player position is the same position, restart button, pause button, level, score, arrows. Level 4, like this, if you take any level, there is one common things is there in each and every level. What are the common things? Have you identified any common things in all the levels? Let's assume that this game is having 60 levels. The game is having what? 60 levels. Okay. So what I started is, because company first day, right? They given this task. Simply they given this design. They asked me to write the code. Do this one. That's it. They given this particular task. They given this level 5. They asked me to write the code. I started writing the code of creating this restart button, creating the pause button, placing the player position, and in the bottom, arrows, level, score, and all the things. I started writing the logic for these things. Then my TL came and asked, "Arey boss, why you are writing this logic again? Why you are writing this logic again? If you see here in all the levels, this particular screen is common. Restart, pause, arrows, level, score, the gameplay, based on the distance, how much you dragged, and it's going to that much forcefully, it's going to release that arrow, it's going to be released." He came and he told to me, "You have to write this logic again, you need to write the logic. We already implemented this logic, as a class called game.java. We already implemented this class called what? Game.java is a class. Because this is a common logic in all the levels. This is a common logic. You know to write this logic again and again. This common logic is already written into one class called game.java. If you are in a level 10, for example, you are developing for level 8, you are developing. Simply write level 8. Simply you will write level 8 extends game. Assume that already some code is already written in the game.java class. Some code is already written in the game.java. I'm writing what? Level 8 I'm writing here. Simply I will write level 8 extends game.java. Then what happens is automatically whatever the code is written automatically in the game.java, this code is written for restart, pause, for displaying the score, level, arrows. For all these things, the game logic is already written in the game.java. Meaning what my TL told is, you need to write this logic again for restart, pause, and all these things. You write the logic only what is specific to level 8 version. Only that's it. So simply, my work is reduced a lot because I need to write the logic for restart, pause, even this bottom score information, these player positions, and all these things are not required. It's very, meaning out of 100% of efforts, with only 10% of efforts I put, that's it. Only placing the positions of these things. In level 9 also, I have a requirement of same thing, right? The next level also I have a same requirement. Simply I'll write level 9 extends game.java. Automatically I'll get this entire logic. Only I have to focus on the positions where I have to place the object. So first time I understand, because academical, I mean, in the academics, I learned a lot of times, theoretically, I learned the definition. Extending the properties from parent class to child class is called as inheritance. Inheritance, that's it. But where exactly I found the use of this inheritance concept is when I start working with this game, then I realized what is the use of the inheritance concept. Have you identified here? Is there any, what is the main use of this inheritance concept? Have you identified in this example? What is the main use of the inheritance concept? Code reusability. What is the main use? Code reusability is the main advantage of inheritance. Meaning you don't have to write the code again and again, you need to write the code, right? Simply, in this example, all this common logic, they'll place a class called game.java. If you are writing for level 1, if you are writing, simply write level 1 extends game. Automatically, this entire restart, pause, this bottom screen, this player, automatically you're going to get into your screen automatically with one single statement. Even this same logic is required in level 2 also. We'll write level 2 extends game.java, level 3 extends game.java, level 4 extends game.java. Like that, we'll write. Meaning, we are reusing the code we are reusing. We are reusing the code we are reusing. The main advantage of inheritance concept is nothing but code reusability is a main advantage of inheritance. Code reusability is the main advantage of what? Inheritance. Acquiring the properties from parent class to child class is called as inheritance. Code reusability is the main advantage of what? Inheritance concept. This is what the one object-oriented programming concepts. This is one object-oriented programming concept. And see what is the next one? Second thing is nothing but polymorphism. Second thing is nothing but what? Polymorphism. This is another object-oriented programming concept. This is another object-oriented programming concept. What is this? Polymorphism is nothing but, let's see theoretical definition first. The ability of an object will act differently in different situations. This is what? Polymorphism. The ability of an object will act differently in different situations. This concept is called as what? It's a polymorphism. Telling you again, the ability of an object will act differently in different situations. Let's see here, what is the main use of this polymorphism concept? Let's take, for example, my case. The last couple of months, what is happening in my life, I'm telling you. Just an example for demonstrating this, what exactly polymorphism is. Okay. See, I know few technologies. Like I know the Java programming language. I know Android. I know iPhone programming language. I know the UI design. Okay. So these are my technologies. Let's take the technologies what I know. I know the Java web development. I can write the code in Java. This is one thing. And I'll develop the Android applications I'll develop. I can develop the Android applications. Android applications I can develop. Next. I'll develop the iOS applications I'll develop. I have a knowledge on iOS. And the next thing is, even I have a knowledge on user interface also. It's Photoshop and UI designing also. Mahesh can work as a Java developer, or he will work on the Android or iPhone or UI technologies. Whenever the company is having a Java requirement, for example, whenever the company is having a Java requirement, the company will use me as the company is having a requirement on Java, the company will use me as a Java developer. Whenever the company is having a requirement of Android, they'll use me as an Android developer. When they have a requirement of iOS, they use me as an iOS developer. When they have a requirement of user interface, they'll use me as a iOS developer. Meaning here, Mahesh is acting differently in different situations here. When the company is having a Java requirement, he's behaving like a Java programmer. Okay. When the company is having an Android requirement, he is working as an Android developer. When they need as a UI or UX designer, he is working as a UI. Meaning, what is the company is getting here? What is the advantage company is getting here? The advantage company is getting is nothing but here also same thing, reusability. They are reusing the code they are using here. That's what I mentioned here. What is the definition of polymorphism? The ability of an object will act differently in different situations. So here how the Mahesh is acting differently here in different situations, the program also one object will act differently in different situations. That is what the polymorphism concept is. Okay, just theoretically I'm giving the definitions about these concepts. Okay, programmatically we'll see how to work with internet inheritance, what is polymorphism, and just theoretically I'm giving the introduction to these components, what is polymorphism is. Okay, so we've seen what exactly inheritance and what is polymorphism. And the next thing is nothing but, let's take, the next concept is nothing but abstraction. What is the next one? Abstraction. Okay. So let's see what exactly abstraction is. So abstraction is a process of identifying. Abstraction is a process of identifying the essential things to be known. Essential things to be known and ignoring non-essential details. And ignoring non-essential details. This is what the abstraction concept is. What is mean abstraction? Abstraction is a process of identifying the essential things to be known and ignoring the non-essential details. This is called as what? Abstraction. Very simple example, boss. Simple example, but don't think in a negative format. Let's take one of my friend recently married. So let's take, just he came along with his wife to meet me. Just he came along with his wife. Just assume that. Then you have to ask some questions. You can ask the questions like, for example, what is your name? I mean, your friend wife, you can ask like, what is your name? Okay, where you are working? Like these kind of questions you can ask. But you cannot ask few questions like, what is your weight? What is your height? What is your age? So these kind of questions, can you ask these kind of questions to your friend wife? No, right? He's going to give left and right to you. Why you need all these details? So here, meaning with a common. So here, it's nothing but a process of identifying. You have to know what you have to know and what you have to ignore. So technically here, even the technical also, when you're working the programs, some data you have to hide and some data you have to show to the users. Correct or not? So that concept is called as abstraction, a process of identifying the essential things to be known and ignoring the non-essential details. So it's called as what? Abstraction concept. So we had to show some data we had to expose to the users and some data we had to hide. So that concept is called as what? Abstraction. Okay. So this abstraction, in case of our programs, we can achieve by using this private modifier. We can achieve this abstraction. You can achieve by using this private modifier. Okay. So this is about the abstraction. The next thing is nothing but encapsulation. Abstraction is what? A process of identifying the essential things to be known and ignoring the non-essential, meaning you know that these data I have to show and this data I have to hide. So that concept is called as what? Abstraction. Let's see what exactly encapsulation means. So encapsulation is a mechanism of hiding the internal details. Encapsulation is a mechanism of hiding the internal details. Hiding the internal details. Okay, we understand. Okay, one second. So we see what is the main advantage of inheritance. What is the main advantage of inheritance identified here? The code reusability. Code reusability is the main advantage of inheritance. In the same way, what is the advantage of polymorphism? Even the polymorphism advantage also nothing but code reusability only. Because the ability of an object will act differently in different situations. I told you, right? This Mahesh will work as a Java developer, Android developer, UI developer, and iOS developer. What the company is getting here? Reusing. Whenever they have a requirement of Android, they are using as Android. Whenever they have a requirement of using for iOS, they are using for iOS. Meaning the resource is not waste, right? If the person is having only the Android knowledge, if they have Android projects, only they can work with this particular person. But here, they're reusing the same resource they are using for multiple persons. So the advantage with the polymorphism is nothing but the code reusability is the advantage of polymorphism. And what is the advantage of abstraction? What is the advantage of abstraction? Data security. What is the advantage? Data security is the main advantage of data security is the main advantage of what? Abstraction. Data security is the main advantage of what? Abstraction. Okay. So next, encapsulation means what? It's a mechanism of hiding the internal details. It's a mechanism of hiding the internal details and allows a simple user interface to the user. Allows simple user interface to the user. Allows what? A simple user interface to the user. So user will use allows a simple user interface to the user. User will work with the object. User will work with the object without knowing the internal details. Without knowing the internal details, how it works. Without knowing the internal details, how it works. What's the meaning of this one? Encapsulation is a process or it's a mechanism. It's a mechanism of hiding the internal details and allows a simple user interface to the user. User will work with the object without knowing the internal details of how it works. What's the meaning of this statement? For example, let's say, see here again, hiding the internal details allows a simple user interface to the user. A mechanism of hiding the internal details and allows what? allows a simple user interface to the user. Just see, for example, for demonstrating this one, this is what the browser. I opened a software called browser is the software I opened. What I am doing is here, I am clicking this button, I am clicking. There are three color buttons are there. One is a green color button, yellow color button and red color button. What I'm doing is nothing but simply I'm selecting this red color button, I'm selecting, that's it. What happened? The browser has closed. Do you know internally what is happened when you click the button? Do you know what happened internally when you click the red button? No, right? We don't know what happened internally when you click the close button. That's what the encapsulation concept is. You don't know the functionality of how it is working internally, but with the help of this simple user interface, you are using the functionality you are using. That's what the encapsulation concept is. See here, clearly understand the definition. The mechanism of hiding the internal details. We don't know what is happening when you click the close button here. Of hiding the internal details and allows a simple user interface to the user. Allows what? A simple user interface to the user. User will work with the object without knowing the internal details, how it works. We don't know anything here, what is happening internally. Simply we are clicking this close button. I don't know anything what happened internally. Just it is provided me a simple user interface. Boss, click on this button for close the browser. I click the button, I close. That's what the encapsulation concept is. Hiding all the internal details, and will allow a simple user interface will give to the user. User is going to use that user interface without knowing the internal details of how it is working. That concept is called as what? Encapsulation concept. Okay. So here, the encapsulation main advantage is also nothing but data security is the main advantage of encapsulation. Data security is the main advantage of what? Main advantage of encapsulation. Data security is a main advantage of what? Encapsulation concept. So understand here, are you clear with these topics? So yesterday we seen what exactly object-oriented programming is. It's another programming methodology. In this programming methodology, the code is separated as a classes. The code is separated as what? As a classes. Each and every class represents a real-time entity. And a class describes about the data and behavior, but originally who contains the data and behavior? Object contains the data and behavior. That is what the object-oriented programming methodology. And the programming language will be called as object-oriented programming language. If it is providing these four concepts: inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. I'm telling you, right? Theoretically, you understand what exactly inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Okay. So very soon, programmatically also we'll discuss all these concepts. We'll discuss programmatically also. What is inheritance? How can you achieve the inheritance by using programmatically? Okay. So this is about the object-oriented programming methodology. This is about object-oriented programming methodology. Then we'll discuss why we had to use this Java as an object-oriented programming methodology. Okay, we understand that object-oriented programming is the best approach for developing applications. And there are different object-oriented programming languages are there, like Java, C++, or C#.NET, or Objective-C. So there are a lot of object-oriented programming technologies are there. Then why we had to use this Java as an object-oriented programming language? Why we had to use this Java as an object-oriented programming language? Because Java is having some unique features. Java is having what? Some unique features it is having. So we'll see what are the unique features. What are the features of Java we'll discuss now. Okay. So give me 1 second. Give me 1 second just. So we'll see what are the features of Java programming language. The features of Java programming language is nothing but The first advantage and the great advantage of Java is nothing but open source. What is the first advantage of Java? Open source is the main advantage of Java. Second thing is nothing but simple. Second thing is what? Simple. Third thing is nothing but platform independent. Platform independent. Third thing is platform independent. Next, easily portable. Easily portable, and it's a secure programming language. Java is a secure programming language. Open source, simple, a platform independent, portable, secured, robust, high performance, robust and high performance, robust, high performance. So multi-threaded. Okay, and next after that, distributed, multi-threaded, and secured, robust, high performance, multi-threaded, distributed, multi-threaded, and distributed programming language. Then after that, it's an object-oriented programming language. Java is an object-oriented programming language. And the last thing is nothing but architectural neutral. Architectural neutral. These are what? These are the features of Java. There are a lot of other programming, object-oriented programming languages are there. Then why we have to choose this Java is object-oriented programming languages? Because Java is having these features. Java is having these features. Let's see the first one. What is the first one? Platform independent written, right? Yeah. So what is the first one? Open source. To say frankly, this is a great advantage of Java. What is that one? Open source. Let's see what exactly open source is. Open source. Open source in the sense nothing but complete source code will be exposed to public. What is in the open source? Complete source code will be exposed to public. Complete source code will be exposed to public. Public can see the code. Public can see the code and modify the code according to their requirement. People can see the code and modify the code according to their requirement. This is the great advantage of Java. Meaning that they will show the complete source code. How they developed the Java platform, that complete source code is visible to you. If you want, you can see the code, you can see, and you can modify the code according to your requirement, you can modify the code. Let's see one best example I want to explain about this open source. Okay, and even it will help you for you also. Maybe you're the beginners, right? You're the beginner in Java. Let's see here. What is the meaning of this open source? Everything is visible to everyone. The people can see the code and modify the code according to their requirement. Which code? Not the Java software code. How they build that Java, the complete source code is visible. You can see and you can modify the code according to your requirement. Best example I'm telling you. If you learn core Java, for example, it's also related to your technical discussion only. Okay, I'm not wasting your time. Let's take you are learning the core Java you're learning here. Then what is your next option? Maybe you have some plans, that's why you are learning, that's the secondary thing. I'll tell you what are the options are available for this core Java. Let's take the first option is either you can learn the advanced Java, these kind of technologies you can learn, advanced Java framework, some database technologies you can learn, and you can become as a Java programmer. You can become what? You can become as a Java programmer. You can become, correct or not? This is one option you are having. Learn this core Java, advanced Java, some frameworks like Spring, Hibernate, these kind of frameworks. You can become as a Java programmer. You can become. That is one option you are having. Second thing is another booming technologies in the market. Let's take one option is, what's another one? You can choose this data analytics. I'll tell you why I'm drawing this one, because to explain that open source and I'm using this one. You can use this Hadoop, these kind of technologies you can learn. You can learn these Hadoop kind of technologies which require the basic core Java knowledge. For analytics, you're going to use this Hadoop technology. Even if you want to learn Hadoop also, you require some basics of this Java programming language. Basics are required. Or another best market, one more best market is nothing but for Android. Even for Android also, there is a good market is nowadays for mobile application development. So this is another best option. You can learn the mobile applications. You can learn. Even if you want to become an Android programmer, if you want to become a mobile application developer also, you require the Java programming knowledge is required. This is one option you are having. Meaning after completion of your core Java. And nowadays, another booming technology in the market is nothing but the cloud computing. The cloud computing, the one of the best example for this. What is another one? The cloud computing is another one. Cloud computing. One of the best example for this cloud computing technology is nothing but one is Salesforce is one thing. This is another one good the technology is one thing. Salesforce is one thing, or one more thing is nothing but Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services also one of the cloud computing technology. Is one of the cloud computing technology. You can move to either Salesforce or Amazon Web Services. You can use. Okay. This is another option you are having after learning of your core Java. Cloud computing, either Salesforce or Amazon Web Services. Both are having very good market in nowadays. Both Salesforce and Amazon is having a very good market in present days nowadays. This is one option you're having, meaning you don't have to spend too much of time like the Java, these kind of technologies. So quickly you can learn, and there are a lot of opportunities also there for these things. Cloud computing, a Salesforce, Amazon. This is one option you are having. One more option is nothing but if you don't know the complete programming, even if you don't know, let's say even nowadays, even to become a tester also. What is it, live play? Okay. Another option, one more option you're having is nothing but Selenium. There's also another good option because nowadays a lot of opportunities you'll find even in the automation testing side like Selenium, Qtb, or these kind of automation side also. Now we require this programming skills are required. Even in the testing also we require this, require this Java programming skills are required. For learning the Selenium, required some basics of Java is required. Even my regular classes, a lot of people will come for learning. The people who are learning the Selenium, they are coming and they're learning the classes Selenium. And one more option you are having is nothing but let's take. There are some tools are there like HP Extreme is one tool. It's not a licensed tool. It's not a licensed tool. So outside the people will not teach these things. One is HP Extreme is one thing. One more thing is nothing but Pega is another one. Pega is another one. HP Extreme. Like there are some lot of technologies, not only one or two, lot of technologies which are working on this Java-based environment, which are working on what? Java. So these are all the options are available after your core Java. After your core Java, these all the options are available. That is your option. That is your choice, and based on your patience. Like you have enough time, then definitely I prefer to go with complete Java development. It's always evergreen. You'll find the more number of opportunities you'll find if you go with Java. Now you don't have that much of time, and you cannot beat that competency. Then it's better either go for Android or Hadoop or Selenium or these kind of technologies. Why I given this one? Because see, if you take Hadoop is a third-party framework. It's a third-party company, and internally it's using the Java. Android is using Java. Salesforce is using Java. Selenium is using Java. HP Extreme, Pega, these kind of technologies are using this Java. It is using all these technologies. What is the reason? Do you know what is the reason of all these things? The reason for all these things is nothing but the first advantage of Java. That is what? The open source. Because of this open source only, the complete source code is exposed to the users, the people. The people can see the code and they can modify the code according to their requirement. Because of that open source advantage only, nowadays these many technologies are using this Java concept. A Salesforce, Hadoop, Android, a Selenium, Pega, HP Extreme, the complete Java packages. All these technologies are using Java. Why they are using this Java? Because Java is what? Open source. Hadoop people, they'll modify the code according to their requirement. Android people, they'll modify the code according to their requirement. Salesforce people, they'll modify the code according to their requirement. Okay, that is what the first and great advantage of Java is what? Open source. Because of open source, only Java became that much popular. There is no any other reasons, to say frankly. Because of open source, only Java became that much popular. So got it right? So we seen what are the opportunities you are having after this core Java. I mean, by learning this core Java, what are the opportunities you are having? We seen, but practically, what I want to tell you is nothing but the advantage of open source is nothing but all these technologies are using why only this Java? Because Java is what? Open source. They load that Java and they'll modify the code according to their requirement. They'll modify the code because it's a open source. Okay, got it right? This is the first advantage of Java. The complete source code will be exposed to the public. The public can see the code. Public can see the code and modify the code according to their requirement. That is a first advantage. And what is second advantage? Second advantage is nothing but simple. What is second advantage? Simple is a second advantage. See here. The second advantage of Android is what? Simple is the second advantage. What is mean by this simple? Let's take before this C programming language. I'm aware of writing the code by using this before this Java programming language. You know, I'm aware of just I know of writing the code by using C. I understand here. Before this Java programming language, I'm aware of writing the code by using C, but I feel very complex to write the code in C programming language. Mainly, where exactly I'll get the problem? Declaring these pointers. That is a main complex which I placed in my programming. Entire my programming life, wherever I find that symbol, star symbol, pointer symbol, then automatically I'll get a lot of fear. I'll get that star, ampersand, these kind of complex topics, whatever the complex topics are there in the C programming language or structured programming language, those complexities are removed in the Java programming language. It's very simple. Java is a meaning how it is called a simple programming language because how it is called as simple because Java is a superset of C. Java is a superset of C programming language. Java is what? Java is a superset of C programming language, meaning How we call the superset? Because whatever the syntax you are following in the C, what are the syntax you are following in the C, the same syntax you will follow in the Java also. Execution of a program is going to start with main method. There we are going to use a method called println method for printing the data. Here we'll call system.out.println. Here also we are going to use the same data types like int, float, character, boolean and all. So that's why I use the term C is a superset of, Java is a superset of C programming language. That is a one thing, that is a first statement. And the complexities in C, the complexities in C, like pointers is one topic, one hard topic. Hard topic is what? Pointers. The complexities in C, like pointers, is one thing. Second thing is nothing but there is a concept called templates. Templates, concepts are removed. Concepts are removed in Java. So we don't have a concept like pointers. We don't have a concept like pointers in case of Java. We don't have a concept like what? Pointers in Java. And we don't have a concept like pointers and templates. These kind of complex topics are not available in case of Java programming language. It's a superset of C, and the complex topics of C are removed in this Java programming language. Okay. And other thing is nothing but Java is providing ready-made libraries. Java is providing what? Ready-made. Java is providing what? Ready-made libraries. Like we know that if you are performing any IO operations, we are having a package called java.io.star, java.net.star, java.util.star. Like these kind of packages are available. So how we call the Java is simple because I'm aware of C programming language. So if I see the same syntax, then I feel okay. I'm very happy with this. So you're going to get this. It's a Java is a superset of C. You're going to get the same syntax what you learn in the C. You're going to get the same syntax in the Java. That is one thing. The complex topics of C is removed in Java programming language. Third thing is what? It's writing some ready-made libraries. Use that ready-made libraries in your project. Okay. So because of these reasons, Java is called as what? A simple programming language. Java is called as what? A simple programming language. Okay. So as of now, remember these two things. We discussed about what exactly open source and what is a simple. These two features we discussed. And in the tomorrow's class, we'll discuss about this remaining features we'll discuss. So what we discussed today, we discussed about the object-oriented programming concepts we discussed. Then after that, we discussed about the two features of Java we discussed, what is open source and what is simple. Okay. Let me know if you have any queries.